So what is the core? We hear core all the time. Core, abs, they get used like together, but they're not the same. Right? Your core and your abs are two different things. Your core is not your transverse, your obliques, and your rectus. That's your abs. So we need to start, good luck teaching your clients that there's a difference between that, but you guys need to know it, and we need to start thinking that way. It's more than just that. And I'm going to talk about some things that's going to get you to start thinking about it a bit more. So the slings. We're going to talk about the myofascial slings, not those ones, right? And some of you guys might be familiar with it. How many people have heard of the myofascial slings? Put up your hand, just so I get a rough idea. All right? So we just worked out who like the super geeky ones in the audience are, right? That's why I got into it. You might have heard of the myofascial lines, like anatomy trains, Thomas Myers. That's similar, but it's different. It's like saying if you say they're the same, it's like calling your core, like working my core, I'm working my rectus today. We're kind of combining two things that are kind of similar, but not the same. So they're different. So I'm going to give you, this could be a complete lecture. It could be probably half a day talking about it. I'm just going to kind of go over it and explain to you how it works. And if you want to dig deeper, if you want some resources, let me know. First one we're going to talk about is the anterior oblique sling. So in the front, across the body, it goes from that external oblique down across internal oblique into the adductor. So it goes cross body. You guys might have heard people talking about like the cross patterns. So we think, how does that actually work with our clients? Well, when you throw something, when you throw a punch, right, if I'm going to throw something, I'm going to load up. I'm going to use my obliques to pull my body down, but I'm also using that adductor to come through. But does anyone say like, I want to work my core today and point to their adductors? They don't. But we need that. I have a question for you. Would you rather get punched in the face by Josh on one foot like this, so he can't use that adductor no more, or Corey with two? Neither? I like that answer. So if you had to throw a ball, right, would you rather throw it like this, or would you throw it, I said there's $1 million, and you got to get it past that line over there. You can do it on one leg or two legs. What are you going to do? Would anyone do it off one? Good. Because you know you're not going to get as much power. You're going to throw it, but you can't use that adductor to get that cross pattern. That's our core, right? Because we talk about you need a lot of core power to throw or to punch, but it's the adductor. It's not just the abs, it's the adductor as well. Posterior, so we got to work the backside. Posterior oblique sling is basically the lat down to the opposite glute. What ab muscles are working there? What core, what in our abs is working on there? Nothing. Do sprinters need to be strong in their core? Heck yeah. If they're wobbly, imagine they're running, right? They're not winning any gold medals. But it's that lat down to that glute. So when they're running, they're driving through this leg, right, using that glute, and they're driving back with their arm. That's core power right there, right? We would all agree that you need a strong core if you want to be faster, right? But that's the science behind it. That's how you can start to think about it. That builds a strong core. The deep longitudinal sling, this is for the really geeky people. It's the erectors, down the fascium, the biceps femoris, peroneus longus, even gets in the tib anterior. Don't worry about it. This one is like this is the one that gets hard. It's hard to understand, but think of it as a connector. It basically locks in your SIJ, your sacroiliac joint, and it communicates upper down to lower or lower to upper. It's just a communicator. But that is part of our core. It helps us with our walking, with our decelerating. If we would need to decelerate, if you're weak through that, what happens? You might, do an ACL. Not that anyone's done an ACL a couple times. And last one, lateral sling. So this is the QL on one side, right, down to the glute min, and there's that adductor again. So when we do a single leg stance, we need to come up here. We need to make sure that that leg's not caving in, or that adductor staying strong, that we're not hiking up doing this, right? Imagine if we walk like this, right? Exactly. So that's what locks us in there. Again, would you say that if you saw someone lift their leg and do this, would you probably say like tighten their core up, right? You need stronger core. But that's what you need to work. You need to work those patterns. Because doing crunches isn't going to help them if they step like this, trying to go up. That's that core. Like I said, this is a huge topic, but it's just to get you guys thinking and understanding that that's how that core works. It works in cross patterns.